Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome to this week's episode of the Anonymous Throwdown Podcast. Marcel?
What's up? Yeah.
Marcel is here. Okay,
I'm here.
so Jake and Dustin are both out today. Let's talk about Marvel's Avengers. What a piece of shit that game is, huh?
It's a stinker, bro. The worst fucking superhero game of the last decade. Like,
You
no
think so?
joke. I would
Bro,
play the Lego games over this game
bro,
over and
come on
over
now.
again. I'm
No, no, no,
serious.
no, 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 no.
I
Okay.
can't play the story. The story's writing is like, it's like they took the first draft of the fucking game and just like, here you go. Yeah, let's do it. Just, hey, record it, guys. Throw in some improv here and there. And
What
then boom.
about the Batman Begins game? That game was, but that has like a
That
cult
wasn't a
following.
decade. That wasn't a decade ago.
Yes, it was.
No, it
Was
wasn't.
that
That
game
was in
really?
2000, that was in 2005 or 2008. Or
Dude,
something.
I just realized Arkham Asylum wasn't in this decade. Come to think of
Yeah,
it,
exactly. Arkham
was
City was made in 2009. Yeah, exactly.
You're exactly right. That's crazy.
Arkham City was made a decade ago. So from that time period, Avengers, in my opinion, is probably the worst superhero game. It's even worse. I would play the Amazing Spider-Man games over this fucking game.
What?
I legitimately would rebuy the Amazing Spider-Man games, delete Avengers, and play those.
Dude, you want to know the one time I got scammed the most of my life? I bought that game for $60 because they had no used copies of it. And at GameStop, they were charging $60 because they hadn't discounted it because it's Activision. I was like, well, I'm going to do videos on it or whatever. So I was like, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to replay this game, do a whole video series on it. And then I replayed it and I was like, this game is unplayable. I can't even make a review of it. Yeah.
I did play it, but it was $60 for like the longest time. I think it might still be $60, like on the PlayStation network or whatever. Like if you go into the game store, it's literally still $60. It's like, why? The game is not worth that much, and neither is Avengers. Avengers is a fucking garbage tier of a video game. The story is bad. The acting's okay, and like the gameplay is just fucking stale. It's like there's nothing that progresses the superhero video game genre.
So the big news coming out this week is that it appears as though the player base for this game has dropped beneath 1,000, which is insane for a game that just came out that is an online multiplayer, has online components to it. For it to be under 1,000 players, that tells you a lot. That tells you everything you need to know about the performance of the game.
Arkham Knight literally has like a similar player base right now, and that game came out 5 fucking years ago, 6 years ago.
6 years ago, approaching 6.
Oh my God.
So.
Yeah.
So what do you think went wrong with the game? Like from a foundational perspective, like what really went wrong?
The marketing. Definitely the marketing, the way they marketed the game, and how, even just the entire, like, I want to say development of the game, because like the concept of this game is great. You have the Avengers that got set up, and now nobody trusts them for 5 years, and then Kamala Khan comes along and she helps them like rejoin and whatever. That's fine. But like, it's just done in a really bad way. The gameplay's just it's really stale. Again, like you predicted that, where it's just like everybody has the same button layouts and everybody has the same throw mechanics and the same shoot mechanics. It's like, holy shit, this game's boring. It's like, holy fuck, it is. It really is. It's just it for me, it's almost unplayable. I just don't want to play it.
Yeah. And to the audience, what Marcel is referring to is the idea that I said it, I think in the Anonymous Third on like probably a month ago, is that
it was in our beta. It was our beta live stream.
That's right. Every character has the exact same controls. It's just the animations that are different. In other words, like you can throw stuff with L2 and R2. And for Thor, you throw your hammer. For Hulk, you pick up a piece of fucking rock out of the ground and chuck it at people. But every character plays pretty similar, with the exception of Iron Man. You can fly around and shit. Now, once we get Spider-Man, once we get Spider-Man, that might be different. Now, have you finished the full story? Because I have not. Do you know how the game ends?
No, I don't know how the game ends, actually. I think I know how the game ends, but I think I know what the final cutscene is, because I saw like a glitch version of it where Captain America's just like in a T-pose behind like the entire team while Captain America's like giving like a speech. Like I saw like the part of the ending, but like I don't know how it ends. I'm at this part where they're I have to go do all these certain side missions after like I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing in a story, dude. I don't. Like for different superhero games, I can be like, oh, I'm going here for fucking Spider-Man. I'm going to Martin Lee's fucking party, or fucking Batman. I'm going to Mr. Freeze or whatever. Like I don't know what the fuck I'm going to.
Right.
Fighting aimbots. That's all I'm doing right now in the story. so I don't like. I'm trying to grind so I could go to the next site to the next mission. So I mean, I think it's a really bad game. Like
Well, and the multiplayer is not fun at all. Like, there's no
yeah,
incentive to even play it.
none. It's just grindy bullshit. Like what am I? What's my end goal? What am I getting?
Yeah. I guess you can get like skins and shit, but
But the
I don't know.
skins aren't even really that. I'll be honest. I spent $80 on this game because I spent $20 afterwards, and it was the biggest fucking regret of my life. I wanted a Captain America skin.
You spent
No, no,
$20 on a Captain America skin?
I wanted an Iron Man skin, and yes, I had to spend like $20, and I only could get like one skin. I was like, wow.
Jesus, how expensive are those things?
They're like $14. They're 1,400
Whoa.
points. So when they're 1,400 points, it's like $20 is like 2,000 points. Boom. So you
So now you have
14.
600. So now you have 600 points you can still use.
I could do like an emo. I could do like something. I don't know. It's like a fucking buy with that bullshit. I
So
haven't
the
touched
entire
it.
game. So the entire game is $60, and a skin is 1/4 of that. Think
Yep.
about that. It makes no sense.
And there's like fucking 30 skins for each character.
Well, it's going to be hilarious because their whole model of what they're trying to do is basically, okay, so the game will sell a lot, but we'll break even on the game sales, and then we'll make money with the skins. But now nobody's playing the game, and there's nobody to buy skins because fewer than 1,000 people on Steam. Keep in mind that Steam is like a huge platform that so many people use. There are games that came out over a decade ago that right now have thousands and thousands of people on them. You can go, I mean, any game, old Call of Duties that are years old on PC, they have player bases, right?
Right.
But when you are talking about a game that just came out that is a massive multiplayer online game, RPG style game, and it has fewer than 1,000 people on it, that is a huge red flag that shows that your game is a flop.
Yeah. It's kind of embarrassing that they're trying to like present this as like, yeah, when we start putting out more missions, people will start coming back. It's like, no, I don't think that's what's going to happen because those missions are literally identical to everything we just played.
Well,
Well,
as
like,
I mentioned for the gameplay, what are they going to change? Oh, instead of fighting aim robots, you're fighting whatever, like
well,
the alien species. Like, who gives a fuck?
it's it needed. I think it needed a different developer, and I think
Yeah.
you know what, I was gonna say this in my review, but like I think each character they needed to go the MCU route because like it just seems silly not to. Like they could have done a Captain America game and had all of these characters set up, and then Kamala Khan be the main character of the Avengers game, so she brings back all the characters that we loved, so we could play as them one by one. Like from if they did like solo games for each of the Avengers except Kamala Khan, then she's the main character. I think that would have been a better choice, and I honestly don't think that Square Enix and Crystal Dynamic were like the right choice at all. Like to present this game, like it's a mess.
Yeah, I mean, oddly enough, I think Rocksteady would have been perfect for it, or a studio like them. But obviously, we don't want them doing Marvel games. But I don't know. So, yeah, the thing is, I was cautiously optimistic for the game. I played the beta. I thought that the opening cutscene for the game was really quite good.
Yeah,
When they have those cinematic cutscene moments, it's actually a good game. It's fun. It's well
I,
crafted.
I think
You
I'm at the point where like Iron Man had to fly into space, and I honestly hated that. I hated it because like there was no control. You were just like it was like a weird like you just had to like follow a dot. You weren't really flying as Iron Man. You know what I mean? Like it would have been cool if I was controlling Iron Man flying into space, right? But that's not what happened. It was a cool set,
yes,
but like I wasn't in control of any of it except my right thumbstick.
right, yeah. Yeah, I'm not even that far into it. So like I've done all the beta missions.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. True.
I don't even know. I don't even know what the next mission is or like where I am or anything. I just don't
Like
care.
that's the saddest part. I think most players are like that, where they're just like they're coming home from like work or school, and they're just like, what? I don't want to fucking play this. This is boring as fuck. I'd rather be doing homework. Like fuck this thing, bro.
Yeah, the game's a piece of shit. Now, the one thing that I will say is this also to me, the main takeaway, I had a Twitter thread about this today that most people are agreeing with, I think. But the thing that I said online is like, this should be a sign to W Montreal and Gotham Knights to not do anything that Square Enix did with this game, avoid at all costs, do the exact opposite. And
Right.
that's what I honestly think.
Well, same thing with Rocksteady too.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad. They definitely needed to go the opposite direction and not do whatever the fuck Square Enix did. It needs like whatever games as a service like Suicide Squad's gonna be. It needs to be like a little bit more planned out because I don't know what the fuck's going on with this Avengers bullshit. I don't know like what new missions are coming or whatever. I don't know what's going on. Like nobody knows what's really going on.
Yeah. And
And I
you
think
can even you can either be like a Sea of Thieves Rainbow Six thing where they revive it. It comes out, it's dead, it has no players. Like Rainbow Six Siege was one of those games. I remember watching the trailer for it and how much cooperation there was because they basically had a live gameplay demo at the reveal and it was in the airplane mission where you're like rescuing the president, I think, which it looks so fucking cool. And then the game came out. It was a flop. There wasn't very much depth to it. And then they invested a shit ton of resources in reviving the game, and they did
yeah,
into the competitive scene and shit like that. So they need to find their angle of what is it that's going to revive the game. And it is not just going to be more missions. That is more of the same. That is more of reskinning what we already have and don't like. But what's going to save the game is something like, let's say, a Star Wars Battlefront style heroes versus villains mode, where you play as the Jedi against the Sith, and you can
right.
actually like run around. If there's actually a mode where it's 4v4, I team up with my friends and we're like Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, whatever, and we fight
Yeah,
against fucking Loki and other. That shit would be fun. We would play that.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would
I
be a lot of fun. But instead, they're just gonna keep like, oh, now instead of fighting robots, we're fighting aliens. Ooh, these are scrolls. Isn't this fun? And it's like, no, this still sucks.
like yeah, I mean, even with like the side characters, when their story comes out, is their story gonna be as rushed as this fucking story was in the base game? Because I
Right.
don't really have any faith in whatever. Like, I feel like what they're gonna do with these side characters that they're gonna add into the game later on, it's gonna be like Batman Arkham Knight, where it's like 15-minute side missions, and it's like boom done. Like a
Yeah.
50-minute like story mission pack, and then boom, you plays them in the multiplayer missions.
I don't even want story missions. I want fun online multiplayer. Now, okay, now here's another fun mode. A horde mode. Or not a horde mode. Like they also do this in Star Wars Battlefront where you play what's up?
No, 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 go on, keep going, keep
Oh,
going.
where you're also playing as the hero and you fight against people with just guns. So like imagine if there's 4 people, it's 4 versus 64. And
Holy
so 64 people spawn in as aim robots and they're trying
oh,
to kill the Avengers.
dude, that
Not,
would be
not aim not
dope.
aim not aim
All right.
robots, but like let's say
No,
whatever, some sort of
Amron is
character.
perfect. Like they could like spawn like different variations. Like there's a bunch when you start playing them. But like yeah, you could have like different variations where one was like the giant spider and they have to like start shooting them. If they could develop something like that into the game, that would be
Yeah, or it could be like Thanos's minions or something. It can be anything. So there's like 64 of you. You all spawn in with like a little blaster gun, and like that's all you have. And then
right.
you have to fight against 4 humans playing as the Hulk and shit. Like, wouldn't
Yeah,
that be fun?
dude, that would be fucking amazing. That would literally
Or
just
or again, I really like the idea of them making villains. So we can play as Loki, we can play as other villains, even Thanos potentially, and then it's like heroes versus villains mode because it's just fighting the robots is so fucking boring. I can't think of anything I hate more.
dude, it's
Um,
I finally got to that one point where we're fighting. You remember that one giant spider that we fought in the multiplayer with Evan?
yeah, that was awful.
Yeah. Holy shit! I got to that mission solo in the story, and I wanted to kill myself. It
It's so
legitimately
bad.
was. It was. I had to replay that, and I was just having PTSD back to when I was just like, having that rant for about 10 minutes on your
Yeah.
stream. How fucking awful that fucking robot was, because it was. It took even longer because I didn't have you guys to like help me coordinate. The fucking AI was following me around the fucking robot
Mm,
when I was Iron Man trying to kill this thing. I'm just
hmm.
like, what? They're not even trying to hurt the thing. It's like it's a fucking wreck.
And you have to like hit one section of it. It's like, oh, kill the legs now, and then kill the top part of it, and then you
You have to go back and forth,
segment it out. It's just the most boring fucking boss fight you could ever imagine.
and it goes
Um,
up and then comes down, and then it just like tries to shoot you when you fly across its face. It's like, dude, dude.
So that's the other thing with the game. The game doesn't have any added layers of complexity
Right, yeah.
because basically it's like, oh,
it's a surface level fucking game. That's what it is.
yeah.
That's
So
really
it's
true.
like, okay, you're fighting robots. Now you're fighting a robot with a lot of health. Now you're fighting a robot with a shield. Now you're fighting a huge robot. Now you're fighting a mega gigantic robot. It's like, what the fuck is the point of this game? Because there are 3 boss fights in the whole game, from my understanding. There's a boss fight at the end with the main villain. There's a boss fight at the beginning with Abomination, and then there's some robot boss fight or some bullshit like that. So there are no cool boss fights. There are no cool enemies that you fight against. Even the Abomination boss fight's repetitive.
There's like two Abomination boss fights, I think.
Right.
I'm not wrong.
So to me, it's a question of like, what can you do to revive this game? And the answer really lies in making it more of a player versus player experience, because the player versus AI stuff, it just gets boring too quickly. We've tried it with Destiny. This game is not Destiny. It's not going to work like that, because Destiny also had a multiplayer mode where you farm and get you fight against AI so that you can play in multiplayer and have the gear that you want. There is a reason, as you mentioned. What is the reason I'm doing all of this? Well, in a multiplayer game, you ultimately, like Destiny 1 or Destiny 2, you are farming and you're doing those looting missions for a reason.
Yeah, like a weapon.
Right. In this game, there's no benefit. It's just like, oh, you get skins.
You get skins, you get upgrades to your character, but like if the upgrades don't, like what would have worked is if those upgrades would have been like cosmetic, kind of like Injustice. Like I was playing the other maybe week, I don't fucking remember last time I was playing.
Mm-hmm.
I was going through like the upgrades, where you like go and you're trying to like, find the best upgrade, and it's just like I'm just looking for the biggest number. I'm not looking for anything cool. Like if all of those had a cosmetic change to my character, I would have picked like level 3 over level 14 because of the way it looked. And even still, it would have been fun, right? I mean, I would have had my time. I would have been able to boost that cosmetic item. I just don't know why that was not a thing.
Yeah.
It's yeah, then that would have incentivized. It would have made me go out and fucking play the multiplayer, even though I don't want to fucking play the multiplayer. It's the most boring fucking shit ever. It's the same shit over and over again. It's a grindy games as a service. And I don't know.
It's grindy. It's like, and as I mentioned, the only difference is the size of the robots and how many robots there are, as the game level and the health of the robots. That's all.
Yeah, and the health of the robots. Yeah, and like with a game like Destiny, I mean, the gameplay is actually fun. Like I would say, a shooter is more fun than this.
Right.
Like I don't like playing as the Hulk or Miss Marvel. I don't like playing as fucking Black Widow like most of the time. Who else? I mean, I don't really care about any of the characters besides like Captain America.
Cap is fun to play as.
Thor's alright to play as sometimes.
I agree.
But like I legitimately just there's no reason for me to come back to this game and like play it. Like I don't want to play it.
Hulk's gameplay sucks.
Hulk's gameplay is awful.
Thor's okay. Iron Man is okay.
Like I said before, I think they would have all benefited from having solo games where all of them could have been, solo. Like they could have been just exclusively expanded upon. Like in I don't know. I feel like it just would have been better. It would have been like a lot more of a connected universe. I feel like it doesn't feel connected at all. Like I don't like this game. It's horrible.
Yeah, fucking terrible.
1,000 fucking players. I want to.
It's a historic. It is a historic flaw.
Yeah, has there ever been like that low of a player base from like? I would, especially for like Avengers too. Like how do you bomb that?
Yeah. There really is no excuse for the way in which this game turned out, and I think that it also provides a warning. This is what I delved into a little earlier on Twitter. Is I think what it suggests is that Gotham Knights needs to avoid the direction that this game has gone, because we've seen that this type of game is not popular amongst the fans right now. This type of game where you play with friends against robots and AI, it's just not compelling. It's just not. And I think that we've proposed some ideas of how the game could be more fun and more compelling. And ultimately, I think that involves making fun online modes. Okay, now imagine this. What if there was a Thanos mode? One player is Thanos. There's like 32 Avengers.
Oh my
We
god,
all
they're
can
all
pick our Avenger, and Thanos is just like fucking nuking people, right? But they're like
so
you
the
have like laser vision, you're just like and you're like 10 times the size of everybody. And
yeah,
then it's like 32 people all just have to try to take out Thanos, you know?
that would be
Like
a lot of
just fun. At least I would play that. At least it would be fun and I would laugh at it and be like,
yeah,
"Oh, this is
exactly.
fun."
I think that's the only way they can actually revive this game is if they go into like complete absurdity. Because like if they just say fuck
Fun
it, it's just
multiplayer modes, fun multiplayer stuff.
fun. Yeah, but there's I don't know. I don't know how they could do it if they could do it, but
Think about how they revive Call of Duty. If you remember in Modern Warfare 3,
are they capable? Are these developers really capable of doing this?
probably not.
I don't think they are. I don't think they'll be able to revive this game, and I think that the person on top is giving them unrealistic expectations about what their game is going to be doing, because realistically, he's in charge of a lot of the marketing, right? He's the
Yeah.
one that sees a lot of this. He knows what the fuck's going on, and he's giving out this false hope to these devs that, oh yeah, don't worry, in the future when the DLC comes out, we were all going to be fine. It's like I don't think so. Like this can really tarnish them in many ways. Like people can look at Square Enix and be like, "What the fuck? Why did you guys do that?" I mean,
Do you
I'm looking at them doing that now.
Right. Do you remember the Square Enix CEO said that Marvel's Avengers would be like the best-selling and best superhero video game of all time? He's like, it's gonna sell more than Batman Arkham and Spider-Man PS4. It's gonna, yeah,
Okay,
that's exactly what he said. He said
take,
it was gonna sell more than every superhero game
take a guess on how many players are just played in the last 35 minutes.
that have played it in the last 35 minutes.
Yeah, on Steam.
5,000?
No,
What is it?
1,700,
1,000.
726 in the last 35 minutes. I've only played this game on Steam.
Basically a brand new Avengers game. Who could have guessed that an Avengers game would like have that little interest, you know?
Like literally, how would I don't understand. Like I feel like this would have been like their top selling, top played. It's the gameplay. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I am.
to me, this is just a sample in what not to do for Gotham Knights. And I'm going to ask you this. Do you think that there are similarities between the way Marvel's Avengers plays and Gotham Knights?
From the gameplay we've seen from like Gotham Knights, a little bit. There's similarities, but it looks like there is going to be stealth in Gotham Knights, which there isn't none in the Avengers. There's literally not a single stealth.
But is there though? The person come in the gameplay, somebody comes behind them, presses one button, but that's not stealth. Okay,
No,
like
what happened was the Batgirl walks. No. The Batgirl walks in front of the fucking thug and like punches him and like alerts everybody else. That's what happens. If you watch the gameplay, it like looks like the Batgirl intentionally walks in front of the thug and does that. But you can see the Robin choking out the fucking thug and the thug over there not knowing what the hell's going on. So if you stay quiet with both of your fucking teammates, you'll be fine in stealth. And that never happens to the Avengers. You know what I mean? And also, I think
right.
the gameplay is going to be about flushed out with two players instead of I mean, there's only 4 characters. They don't have to focus on like a fuck ton of characters, and they never promise that they have to focus on a bunch of characters after release. So I don't think they really have to worry about all of the pressure of doing the DLC the way that, of course, Square Enix is doing with the Avengers, like adding Spider-Man and Black Panther. Like if they were like, oh, we're adding a fuck ton of Bat family characters, and I'm like, okay,
right.
this would be weird. But they're only focusing on Red Hood, Robin, Batgirl, and Nightwing. So personally,
Right.
I don't think there's a lot of similarities between the games besides the moment. It's like not moment to moment combat, because even if you look at the gameplay when Batgirl swoops in the first time before they go into the Mister Freeze section, when she swoops down stealth thing, the only reason why they catch her is because she's running up and jumping over a ledge and they see her. Like she could have gone stealth mode in that entire section with Robin, of course, if they wanted to. So I think it's going to be a completely different playing experience, and especially with the Bat family and the way that Gotham Knights looks and the way they're trying to make it feel. Gotham Knights could be 10 times better. I'm already saying it now.
I hope you're right. I think it would be fun to have some multiplayer modes in there, though, kind of like what we discussed for Marvel's Avengers. That'd be really cool. Yeah, like a heroes versus villains online mode, or like that'd be a lot of fun. Because that's the thing is like you look at games like Among Us, you look at again in Modern Warfare 3. What did they do to revive Call of Duty? They had Infection. the infection mode, where one person is infected, he runs around and fucking knifes everybody. It's fun,
I
and it
remember
was
Modern
like
Warfare
this.
3. Yeah, Modern Warfare 3 was like dead like earlier before like most Call of Duties like their life cycle ended. So call it like a straight or who was it? It was Infinity Ward, and like they all just started adding game modes like the 2v2 and the 3v3, and they started adding new maps that were like all free and whatnot, and like infected too, like all that shit. That was all fun. I remember that. Like that did
It's
revive
so much fun. And then how did they revive Call of Duty again? They did Battle Royale, one
Royale.
versus 100. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying is like get creative with this shit. Do Thanos Battle Royale where
Yeah,
you are like fucking Thanos, you drop down in the middle of the map, it's you versus 100 Avengers. Like that shit would be fun. You can't tell me that shit wouldn't be fun.
it would be fucking hilarious.
It would be kind of cartoony and like ridiculous, but that's at least I'm on the game. At least I'm
Yeah,
playing. Right
at
now
least
I'm
I'm
not
playing.
playing.
Yeah, I'm not playing. Like honestly,
Same thing with
whatever
Among
the
Us,
code.
dude, with how popular Among Us is. Like start doing shit like that. Among Us Battle Royale, like these fun interactive online multiplayer games. That's the direction.
Where like you're Loki and you're going through and killing the Avengers or whatever, and like shape shifting as them. That'd be funny.
Fuck or or
I don't know.
or fucking Deadpool kills the Marvel universe. You're just like Deadpool, you're like
You're
Jesus
going. You're like Jesus.
Okay, now I'm getting a little ridiculous, but you know what I mean.
No, honestly,
Yeah,
how would you feel if they came out tomorrow and they're like, "We are making a Marvel's Avengers #2"?
I would say don't
Would
care.
you, I don't care.
I wouldn't give a shit. I really wouldn't.
You not a single shit.
No.
What if they're like,
What is there to care about?
what
What
if
am I
they're making
excited for the sequel to the thrilling story that I can't
yeah,
even play
they're
through?
exactly where Kamala Khan is the leader of the Avengers, and she kicked out Iron Man for being a drunk white man.
Did she really do that?
No, talking about the sequel, bro.
Oh.
No, hopefully this game keeps updating, but I doubt they're gonna revive it because right now they're not doing anything that's playable.
Let me look into the sales. I'm very curious to know how this game has sold.
Have they gone public with that?
See, I don't know. I mean, I assume that they have top sales charts, but it's still eclipsed by Spider-Man PS4. Okay, let's take a look
Or
here.
Spider-Man PS4 freaking started selling hotcakes after Miles Morales got revealed.
Marvel's Avengers is the best-selling game in the UK during its launch week. The superhero brawler beat out Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remaster, and it beat NBA 2K21, which is like the 7,000th NBA game. GameIndustryBiz.com compared Marvel's Avengers' success to PS4's Spider-Man, a legendary superhero game from 2018. Even though it's topped the charts, Marvel's Avengers has sold less than a third of what Spider-Man sold on its opening week. Less than one third.
Holy shit.
Bro. And they
That's
said that it was going to outsell Spider-Man PS4. They said, we're going to outsell Arkham. We're going to outsell Spider-Man. We're going to fucking run this shit. And that's embarrassing.
so what? They couldn't even get like a third of Arkham either, right? I mean, like,
Well, so Spider-Man PS4 sold more than Arkham. Spider-Man
yeah,
sold more than Arkham.
but like
Um,
Arkham got like it wasn't like it wasn't like a fucking didn't completely like outsell it like like by a million copies or some shit. It
Yeah,
was like
let's read this article. So, this is on the sales of Batman Arkham and Spider-Man PS4. Marvel Spider-Man is now the best-selling superhero game of all time in the United States, conquering Batman Arkham City. Spider-Man has been massively successful since its release last September, selling over 9 million copies into January. Insomniac's games recently added free DLC, blah, blah, blah. Out of all the many superheroes, Spider-Man it has been featured in the most scattershot games in terms of quality. They recap some of the game performances. According to NPD's groups, Marvel Spider-Man has surpassed Batman Arkham City as the highest-selling superhero video game in the U.S. This is particularly impressive because Marvel Spider-Man has been out for less than a year, and they didn't write this, but just as an aside, is only on one console, whereas Batman Arkham City was on 3 consoles.
right.
So, looking into the sales here, the biggest most successful superhero video games of all time, top 10 list. Number 1 is Marvel's Spider-Man. Number 2 is Batman Arkham City. Number 3 is Batman Arkham Knight. Number 4, get this, Lego Batman. Number 5, Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Any of that, yeah, no.
Number 6, Spider-Man the movie. Number 7, Spider-Man the movie 2. Number 8, Injustice 1. Number 9, Batman Arkham Asylum. And number 10, Injustice 2. So Injustice 2 didn't sell so hot.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Yikes. I didn't realize that.
they put a lot of effort into that story. That story was really good, especially the motion capture in the face. Like most people were
Yeah.
really impressed by that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
Marvel
they didn't sell that
Marvel Spider-Man
so
isn't likely to be. Do you remember Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3?
kind of why. Like
They
I didn't really play that game.
That was like last year.
Oh, that was last year.
Mhm.
That came out last year. Oh yeah, it did come out. Holy shit, I remember it now. Yeah, yeah. I didn't play it though. How bad did it sell?
And then they write in this article from 2018, the biggest competition is going to come from Square Enix's Marvel's Avengers next year. However, even with how popular the Avengers are thanks to the movies, it's hard to picture the game reaching number 1. Marvel Spider-Man was a welcoming title, easy to jump in for fans of any age. If anything, the unannounced sequel would probably have the best chance at surpassing the game. So, yeah, it looks like Spider-Man is number 1, Batman Arkham City is number 2, and Arkham Knight is number 3. That actually surprises me that Arkham Knight didn't sell more than City.
Really? That surprises you?
So
I
I know
think
that
I
City
think
is a
that Arkham City with Joker and whatnot, and the fact that Hamill was kind of like touting how this is like his last one, right? I think he did say something like that, where he's just like kind of done with Joker after Arkham City. Everybody kind of wanted to get on that. No one knew who was going to be in Arkham Knight, so and especially with all the PC shit, people probably I think the PC and the DLC and all that shit hurt Arkham Knight a lot, and especially in the sales like against Arkham City. Arkham City
right.
a more it had a better release, had better DLC release, and it was just better received.
That's true, and because the reception was so positive, like it had a lot of positive word of mouth, whereas
Right.
Arkham Knight had negative word of mouth. As soon as the game came out, it was like, "Oh, the Batmobile sucks, the story
Yeah, the Batmobile too.
sucks, the plot twist is not good." Whereas in Arkham City, it was like, "Bro, you've got to play Arkham City. You won't believe what happens at the end," type of thing.
And here's the thing is that with like Arkham City, you didn't need to play Arkham Asylum. You could have just jumped into Arkham City, been like, okay, Joker got sick at some point, and boom, you're playing the same game. Like with Arkham Knight, you kind of have to play Arkham City to see how Joker died. You know,
Right.
especially with Jason Todd, it's just kind of, it seems like they make you want to play the previous games to see if Jason Todd was there, even though he never was in the first place, right? So it's
Right.
like I don't. Again, I think Paul Dini would have been perfect to end the trilogy, but of course, Sefton Hill and the wet dream about fucking Arkham Knight.
Also, did you know that 7 out of the 10 top 10 best-selling superhero video games of all time were published by Warner Brothers?
I'm not surprised by that.
That's crazy. Now the real question is, where will Spider-Man Miles Morales land on this? I would be butthurt. I would be legit butthurt if Spider-Man Miles Morales sold more than Arkham City, though.
Yeah, I
Because
would also.
Arkham City's number 2. I'd be like, what? Although, even though I do think it'll be really good
I think it will sell more than Arkham City.
for sure.
Because
I think so.
I think it will. Yeah, because the PS5 and even the PS4, there's gonna be a PS4 version too. So it is on two consoles. Anybody
It's
wants to fucking play
cross-gen. That's a huge advantage. Yeah.
Miles Morales and Into the Spider Verse, that made Miles Morales fucking huge. In many ways, more huge than usual, and especially in the in the base game Spider-Man PS4. I think a lot of people thought he was like one of the highlights as well, and especially with the remaster of Spider-Man PS4 or PS4, yeah, coming on to PS5 or whatever, and then just remastering that game in general. I think it's gonna have a big boost for Miles Morales, especially with the fucking Peter Parker face change.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I like it. I think his face looks fine, but I think the older version looked fine, looked better. I think it fit the character better. I don't know where Insomniac is coming with like that character model looks more in tune with Yuri's voice. Because personally, I think that the older character model looked fucking perfectly fine. And when you watch the cutscene where Otto is coming out with his arms, like he isn't full, evil yet, but he's like, he's at that point where he has mechanical arms, and he's like about to freak out on the TV that Norman's talking on. You remember that part?
Yeah.
Like that was the scene comparison that everybody was talking about. And I was playing through that today, and Peter looks so concerned when he's fucking like in front of Otto and how intimidating he is. But like for the other version, the younger version that looks younger, he literally like looks like he's naive to the fact that Otto is becoming evil. even though this, the older Peter is kind of naive, but he tries to like temper Otto. It doesn't look like the Peter. It's just weird. Hopefully they changed it in like certain ways, like his emotional, tone on his face. But we just have to wait and see. I like the older version better, but I think the new one's fine. I'm not trying to boycott the remaster because of it or anything.
Yeah, so their justification was that they felt as though this new character model better represents Yuri's voice.
I think that's kind of silly.
Is that what they said? Am I right?
That's what they said. That's the excuse,
Mm-hmm.
I believe. But then it's kind of like, well, Mary Jane doesn't kind of like, are they gonna change Mary Jane's model now, or like, are they gonna change like Yuri, or like, I feel like a lot of them don't match, right? But whatever. I don't think Norman Osborn's fucking model matches. I think Martin Lee looks perfect because he literally just looks like Steven, the guy that fucking voiced him. So that's not like a. Overall, I don't know. I think that the face change is fine, but a lot of people do seem upset about it. What about you? What do you?
Well, my question is, why is the character de-aged by a decade? Okay, if you're going to change him and you're going to change the way he looks, sure, but he has to look the same fucking age. You changed him from being, whatever, mid-20s to being like 14.
He does look 14.
Look at his baby face. Look at his chubby little baby face. He looks like a confused child. He literally looks like Tom Holland from the first Spider-Man movie.
I will give you that. Yeah. I mean, he does look like Tom Holland. I don't know if there's. Or do you hear that? Are there kids out there? Do you hear that on your end?
A little bit.
Okay, cool. I kind of hear them on my end, but like I'm trying to just ignore them. Whatever.
You don't have any anything we need to know about locked in your basement, do you?
There is not a closet to my right. I promise. Anyway, what was I about to say? Yeah, Tom Holland. People are saying that they don't look similar. Dude, Tom Holland in this fucking face model totally look fucking similar. They totally look the same.
They look identical. Those people are fucking delusional.
The only thing that's different is like the hair and maybe like the fucking eyebrows. But besides that, the chin is like the same. The cheeks are like the same. The fucking eyes and the nose is like almost like fucking identical.
The level of innocence, as you mentioned, yeah.
Looking like naive. Like he looked naive when Otto was about to become evil. And it's like the other Peter looked like he was concerned that Otto was about to become evil. And I'm just like,
well, they're gonna redo the face acting for the entire game, which means that the game, the character is gonna have different reactions, so the game will be a little different. But it's so superfluous to me. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand.
Unnecessary.
It was unnecessary, and I think they only did this to kind of boost sales again, to kind of get that controversy out there. People are saying, like Brian Hittar was like, "Oh, it took me a while to get used to the face change." It's like, well, of course, but like, you are ultimately the one that made that decision. you got used to it pretty fast if you made that fucking choice. So
right.
Brian Hittar saying and making like a big quote. I think they didn't deserve like the backlash they got. They got like literally almost a even ratio on one of their fucking on the trailer or whatever that came out for the remaster. Did you see that?
No.
They got like 51 dislikes. They got like 51,000 dislikes on the remaster trailer video, and it's like holy. Fuck.
Oh really?
Yeah, I mean, try looking it up. But like holy shit, people were really pissed about the face change, and I mean, even Evan's like talking about too, how he's just like bring John back. It's like John deserved better. I think John deserved better, like the guy, the previous face actor or the face model.
Right.
I don't know. I didn't think that I think he fit the fucking voice perfectly. I don't know what was so like, and all the DLC's gonna be changed too, bro. It's gonna be weird.
Yep. And that so they've already published new gameplay of the remaster, huh?
I think so.
Yeah, because it looks like IGN they have 1 million views on gameplay from official PS5 Spider-Man remastered.
By the way, Kobe, your birthday was 10 days ago, right?
Yeah, your birthday was what, 2 days ago?
2 days ago. I'm about to drink right now.
There you go. So how was your birthday?
It was great. I just went out to my job that I no longer work at. I just got drunk.
That's good. Why do you no longer work at that job anymore?
because I'm gonna work at a better job. It's like a holiday lighting thing. It's really fun, and it pays a lot better. So I don't
Oh,
want to
does it?
waste. Yeah, I don't want to waste my energy working at this job at fucking
What is
restaurant.
the other job? Is it at a restaurant?
Yeah, it's a restaurant job. They wanted
It
me to.
also seems like they will put you on the schedule and then tell you not to come in, right?
I mean, that's not the case. It's more like I deserved more because I was a better worker than most people there.
And
And
you weren't getting the time
I
you
was
deserve.
I was there for a year and a half, and I was getting the time I deserved. I didn't get the money I deserved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you're just like out skis deuces.
Yeah, no point in staying there. And then they tried to offer me $2 more to like stay every few days, like there every week. I'm like, fuck no, I don't want to be here. It's miserable working here. Like when you start like working around losers, you start to become a loser. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's how I felt. Like those people weren't going anywhere in life.
Yeah.
It's kind of mean to say, but like
Mm-hmm.
the kitchen manager is like over 40. He has like a kid, and like he has to take care of that kid, and he doesn't really have anything else. He has to just keep working. And I don't know. I'm young enough to realize, and I have that self awareness where I want to do more with my life
Yeah.
than being.
You are people are the product of those around them. You know, the saying goes like birds of the same feather flock together. It's very true because if you're around other people, like humans are very, um, they feed off the energy of other people. They're very receptive and they internalize what's around them.
You know,
All humans do that. So if I'm around people that are very positive, very driven, optimistic, they have goals, that type of shit, then you absorb that because humans are also competitive. You compete with the people around you
right?
subconsciously. But when you're again around losers, basically, you're just like, well, I'm the fucking best person here.
Yeah,
I'm like the most hardworking, as you mentioned. I'm like the best at my job and whatever.
I could literally do everything in that kitchen besides the grill, like and maybe like a few of the prep stuff, and that's it. Like I could bust like an expo. I could fucking serve if I needed to because I'm really good at faking it. I could probably bartend too. Like I could probably do that and get like a lot of tips, but like it's like it comes down to just not wanting to be stuck in any of the positions that those people are stuck in, and it's like they're just not in a good position in life. Like in my opinion, like I don't want to be. They're used to being mediocre. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's mainly what the kitchen. I mean, I think that's what most kitchens are really like. It's like most people just they're okay with thriving on being mediocre.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's not at all for instance, my girlfriend she works at a restaurant and she was telling me that um some of the bartenders can make a shit ton of money.
Oh,
And at all restaurants, like just in general, if you're at a restaurant that's really nice
mhm.
and you're charging like 15 bucks for a drink, then you can make hella fucking tips. And if you live in California too, you make minimum wage plus tips. So you make 12 bucks an hour plus tips.
That's good.
And some people as bartenders can
Yeah,
make
it's incredible.
some people that are bartender around here can make six figures.
Mhm.
And it's like if you
If you're
it,
smart with your money, there,
oh,
like
six,
some
dude, six figures is a lot. I don't care where you live. You can live off six figures.
you
I,
definitely live on three figures, but some
you
people
can
are
live
the way they fucking splurge it.
exactly. Like if you're reasonable, you get a reasonably nice apartment, a reasonably nice car,
Right.
then you can pay for everything on that salary. That is way above the average median salary in the US. But it's also just a matter of like, there's nothing wrong if what you want to do is work 40 hours a week and be a bartender.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. And that's one of those things like if you really own that craft and you're like, my goal is to be a positive influence on other people and just like have a great time, have fun, have good conversations with other people. Like it can be a fun job, I think. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like not everybody needs to be Jeff Bezos or
Oh,
or Bill Gates. And I think that that's the problem when I see a lot of videos online from these like motivational speakers. It's very much like you need to like quit your 9 to 5 and you need to own your own business. But like some people are just not built for that life. Some people are not built to work 100-hour weeks and like build their own business and shit. Some people are just perfectly happy making a good living and being very good at what they do.
yeah.
My dad is a gymnastics coach, and he is really, really good at it. He's done it for over 20 years. He's probably one of the best in the entire country, and it's one of those things where, it doesn't. it's not something you have to go to college for, and it's not something that whatever um, is really about anything besides the fact that he's good at it. He likes being good at it, and he likes having that reputation of everybody. Uh, well, I don't know if he's never said this to me, but my impression is that it means a lot to him that other people identify and acknowledge that he's really good at it. And
Right.
sometimes that is one of those things of just like, oh, if I'm going to be a YouTuber, I don't need to be Jake Paul or Logan Paul, but it's just enough to have my people that think that I'm good at what I do, and I just do just enough to be happy and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always okay with everybody like thriving with their own goals. Like with me, like saying that they're content with like being mediocre. That's not like a dig at them. It's more like something that makes me want to boost up. It makes me want to do something more because I do want to do more than just like restaurant stuff and kind of just being content with like sticking to a 9 to 5, which again, like bartenders, they probably make a shit ton. I was listening to like my manager 2 days ago, or maybe it was yesterday. He was talking about how he made like $1,000 in 2 days, and he just never worked that week again because he he just didn't need to because he made
Yeah.
that money that those 2 nights. So it's like, yeah, they can make a lot of money if you're smart with that money. You don't really have to go out and do anything else. But you know, I don't know. I just have that weird tendency where I just want to keep doing more, and I want to like try to be like the best me that I can be. I don't know.
Yeah, that's great. So
So
what do you
now
think
it's like,
is what do you think is next for you? Like what are you trying to do in the next year?
well, okay, for like maybe 2021, I just want to get into boxing. See if I could try to get into like whatever, competitions I could get into. And
Yeah.
like literally like 2021 is just going to be me like going to a gym, finding the right coach for me and like just training all fucking year until I can, really fucking do shit. Because right now I'm only self-training myself through like YouTube videos and whatnot. So I'm good at learning like with fighting, but like I feel like I need somebody also there with me telling me what to do when I'm also like trying to go at it. So
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
yeah, no,
It's a really ambitious goal. It's something that you are already working on. You've bulked up a lot. You've gained muscle.
yeah,
You're already in a lot better shape, which is super exciting. So I have full confidence you'll be able to do that.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, everybody that knows me like in real life, like when I tell them about it, they're like, "Oh yeah, we fucking know you can do that. You just have the hard work ethic and whatnot."
Yeah.
Honestly, like getting into boxing, it's not that I don't have nothing, but like if you, I don't mean I didn't really come from anything. I'm not like from like any royalty or any rich family or anything like that. I doubt like neither are you, but like
Right.
most people like get into boxing if they're used to just not really being like big or anything because they're just used to fighting through life mainly. So like fighting other people is like really nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally.
And I've been fighting
It's
since I was like 7 too. I did like Brazilian Jiu Jitsu from like 7 to like 14.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, once I got into high school, I was out, but like I was like a green belt with like a black stripe, which is like the highest like, you can go as a under 16 years old. So like once I hit 16, I would have to like go back to like a white belt. But I think my coach wanted to put me as a blue belt, but I just didn't keep going. School was like more important to me.
Mm-hmm.
But like I mean, I could go back into it now. Like, I was actually, it was a few nights ago where my coworker was trying to like wrestle me after work. Like, he was a little bit drunk and he was just drinking and whatnot. And like, I guess he was buzzed and like he tried to wrestle me. And like, for some reason, I was just trying to get him in like submissions. And at like the end, I was like on my back. He was like trying to fucking slap me. And I threw my fucking leg around like naturally, like it was nothing. It just got him like an arm bar. And like, I was like, submit, just tap out, just stop. And it was like, yeah, I mean, it just like gave me motivation to just try and get back into like fighting again because I was just like
Yeah.
so I was just so naturally just doing what I was taught to do because like in reality it was like a self defense thing because he like attacked me like he jumped out of his car and like grabbed me and like tried to fucking wrestle me to the ground. So I just fucking yeah he was like super I don't know if he was like drunk or just fucking going crazy because like I told him it was like my last week but yeah no that was funny and like yeah again like once you have that in your brain even it doesn't matter like when you train and did that like once you already have it like in your brain you're so used to just fucking going off and like doing shit like that if you ever do get attacked
Yeah.
like I could have broken his arm if I was like some random guy I could just like broke his arm right there because like he was
Yeah.
on top of me I fucking got him there and like he was stuck
Yeah. Have you ever been in a real fight like in school?
like once like in like
Tell
middle
us
school.
tell us about it. What happened?
I don't mean really like it was more like it happened so quick the guy like it wasn't even like a real fight. He like shoved me, and then like my friend jumped on him, like grabbed him like a chokehold and like threw himself on the ground like in like a rear naked choke. So they both like kind of and like the security like stopped it. Like we were in the middle of the basketball court. Like I don't know. I never got into like a real fight like in school or like on the street, but who knows? Maybe it will happen.
Yeah.
I've gotten close, but I'm good at like I know people know that I know how to fight, and I don't know if it's just like me not like escalating shit above what needs to be like the threshold of their anger, but I never really pushed that far. I get to that level where people get mad, but I never like in on Twitter I'm always fucking pushing people's buttons and whatnot.
Right.
But like, in real life I don't intentionally try to do that. I'm chill as fuck because
Yeah.
but like if someone tries to push me and then I push them back, I always try to get them to that point where I'm just like, oh yeah, I got you. But
Yeah.
I've never gotten to that point where someone's like tried to like besides like those two times, once in middle school, once in elementary, like someone tried to attack me, but like it always
Yeah.
ended like on the ground somehow.
See, I mean, putting aside like where boxing or MMA, where like putting aside sports, violence is really quite fucking stupid and pointless.
Mhm.
For instance, I saw one time I was at dinner and I saw out in the street on Ventura Boulevard, which is like the main street in the valley and up here in the north part of Los Angeles, and uh, there was this incident where there was almost a car accident, and this dude in like a Prius who was kind of he would have been the one not at fault,
Yeah.
gets out gets out of the car and is like ready to fucking fight the guy that almost hit him, you know? And I see shit like that all the time, or it'll just be like, oh, I don't know, you looked at me the wrong way. Like, let's fucking fight. And it's like,
Yeah.
are you
It's
guys that is the dumbest
it's
shit you
it's
could ever do.
it's dumb, but that's the thing is that like it's super primal. Like it's literally that's the I'm honestly like violence. That's the whole point of violence in like modern times. The only reason why people do that is to kind of get that animalistic nature out of them.
Yeah.
But like honestly, if I saw that in real life, I'd be like, you guys are fucking stupid. Like the only time I would ever want to fight is like on a mat or in a ring. But
Yeah.
like people fighting in real life and like fucking like
Or in self-defense, but like if it's just like, oh, I'm pissed at you, let's brawl it out, that's just it's so pointless.
yeah, absolutely.
Um
It's like if it's like a little mistake like that, like the Prius, like oh I almost hit you. It's like dude, just fucking drive away, just go home. There's literally no point in trying to fight him. Like
Oh, there
neither will
was
get
no
hurt,
chance for
nothing happens.
recourse. So the Prius almost got hit, and he gets out and starts running at the guy, and he's like ready to go. Is he just like fuck you, that type of thing? Is like, for all you know, it was a total accident, and this guy would
Yeah.
be super apologetic if you confronted about him in a reasonable way. Instead, you're charging at him,
Mhm.
and now he has reason to believe that to fear for his life and shit,
Yeah, exactly.
and then
Now
that's where shit escalates.
he could use self defense and whatnot. If he had a gun, it's over for you, bro. You could have just fucking ran away and just drove off with your goddamn
That's what
Prius.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because like this is, pretty much every state in the country has stand your ground, which
Yeah,
means
exactly.
that if you're charging at me and I have a gun, then uh,
You're done. So if this is my life threat, bro, I
yeah.
don't care.
And sometimes I think about that too. Of like, I don't know. There have been times where I want to like flick off or cuss out somebody who's
Yeah.
driving because people are fucking dicks and shit. But
I was
then I'm
getting an
just
Uber
like,
ride to work this morning, bro, and this guy was like literally like fucking freaking out on the light. Like he didn't see the guy, I guess, crossing because like I don't know, like he was like one of the first cars, and I was like in my Uber because I was drunk, so I got a fucking Uber. Don't drink and drive, kids. Uh, but like yeah, I saw him and he was like, what the fuck? He was like freaking out on the light. I'm like, bro, what would happen if somebody else was like
yeah,
at fault or something? Like it's like not that big of a deal.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And even in car accidents, I mean, getting really angry at the other person's not going to fix anything, like
Yeah.
after you're in that position. What were you like in school? Like middle school, high school? Yeah, like what was Marcel like? Was he like dominating? Was he like the popular one, fucking running the halls, or were you more keeping to yourself?
I wasn't. Well, I don't know. I got along with like everybody. I wasn't like I never really tried to like I don't know. I was like the class clown, but like I don't know. I wasn't like outgoing. I wasn't like the popular one, but people
So
knew me.
everybody liked you, but you weren't like Mr. Popular.
I don't think everybody liked me. There was a few people that didn't like me. Like some people like try to claim that there was this one Mexican girl that thought I said I told her to go back to her country, and I was like, what the fuck? Like I got called into the principal's office the next hour, and I'm like, bro, I never. When have I ever showed any fucking type of behavior like that ever? And like I don't know. There's like a few people that thought I was like I don't know.
Did the
Stupid.
principal know you?
The principal knew me. Yeah. I was there for 2 years or 3 years at that school, and like I think it was like during PE, she like came over to our like volleyball court section. Like there was like a bunch of volleyball court things put up, and like she came over to ours. I'm like. You could go back to your court, please. I don't know. She was like fucking bugging us, and like she thought I told her to go back to her country. Like what the fuck, bro? I'm like, can you calm down? I don't know. And I played football like every day at lunch. Like we just threw the ball back and forth. Like so, like the lunch section was all the way on the left. Like that's where the building was for. And then there was the field right there for me and the other guys that played football, and we would play like two-hand touch like almost every single day. Like we would separate teams, and then 5v5 two-hand touch football like on that court, and there would be people walking and shit, so we would like run into people sometimes on accident. But yeah, I mean, I was like, people like me, but I wasn't like the popular. I just never cared about that either. I never tried to be popular. Plus, I never really played sports, which would have helped. If I did wrestling, I think I would have been like popular, but
You never did. I thought you did do wrestling. You never did?
I did wrestling outside of high school. I never did wrestling inside high
Oh,
school.
okay, I got you.
I did a little bit of wrestling when I was doing judo because they had like a interconnecting class. So I was like, fuck it.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I did that for like a few months, but I did judo for like 2 years
Mm-hmm.
while I was doing jujitsu at the same time. I was learning a lot of fucking different martial arts.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, middle school, high school, me, class clown. I was trying to be as funny as possible.
Did people know about your YouTube channel?
Yes, there was this one kid named Alan who always called me Salvage every single day. He would walk past me. What's up, Salvage? What's up, bro?
Would you get pissed?
No, I would smile. I would laugh because I was making money. I was making so much money. Like, what the fuck was he going to say? That's when my Avengers video took off. My Civil War video, Ending Explained, got like 1,400,000 views. So I was like really braggy. I was like checking my YouTube analytics. Like, oh look, I have like 200. I got $200 today, guys. I'm fucking badass, aren't I?
You would say that?
Well, I would think that I'm fucking awesome because I get like 1,000,000 views. So why not? Like, dude, I was fucking awesome. So, but
you just walk into like fucking ninth grade English with your Gucci bag, drop stacks on the desk. Like, what's up, bitches? I'm about to drop out.
It was in photography, and we had like a bunch of computers, so I could just log into my YouTube and like go to my analytics and just show everybody, and like everybody knew about it.
You would show off your analytics.
Oh, yeah, I would show off my analytics, especially at that time, bro. I was getting millions of views, like hundreds of thousands. That's when the Flash was coming out too. Like my entire photography class definitely knew about my YouTube channel, and like through that, everybody else kind of figured it out too, because everybody else was like, telling everybody. So, and like my school was small. I only had like 1,100 students at that school.
What a big dick swing. It's fucking hilarious. Just be like, yo, ladies, come look at my analytics right quick.
Yeah, boom. Thousands of views. I was getting like hundreds of subscribers like a day, bro. It was great.
Dude, that shit's crazy. My channel's dead as fuck.
My channel's dead as fuck right now too. I gotta start uploading.
I know. Should I reveal my new series idea that you're gonna do?
Oh, that one. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so the series idea, it's not an idea. I'm already working on it. I'm working on the questions, and Marcel will probably be the first contestant on it. Is going to be Batman trivia. So it's going to be a trivia show. It's going to be a legit show. It'll probably be 20 to 30 minute episodes, and
nice.
We're gonna not 30 minutes, 20 minutes. What'd you say, Marcel?
Like five ad breaks.
Yeah. Probably eight.
Oh wow, okay, 8. My bad.
So yeah, an ad break every 4 seconds. So just
God damn,
dude. I remember back in the day.
Wait, what were you gonna say? My phone's almost dead, and that's the only like Wi-Fi I got. So
that's a rip in the shit. So essentially, the show is a trivia show where Marcel's going to come on. He's going to answer some Batman trivia questions. I'm not exactly sure I'm going to orient it. Eventually, it will involve fans, and basically, fans will come on and they can win prizes for hopefully it'll be sponsored
Prizes.
episodes. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm going to make questions for Marcel and see how he does. So yeah, I
That'd be
mean,
great. Can you do like the first? Can you do like 4 questions right now in your
for
head?
off the top of my head,
I don't know. I thought you could do
I
it.
gotta prep. I gotta prep. I gotta make some good questions because if I just fire them off the top of my head, they're gonna be too easy, you know.
I bet I'll do really good though. I mean, I've loved Batman since I was like fucking 6, 7.
I think you'll do. I
Probably,
think you'll do better than most people.
yeah, I think I'll do great.
So
I've
that's
had to
gonna be
do a lot of
very.
research on Batman too because of fucking YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm very excited for that. Hopefully that'll be fun. Again, I'm just trying to think of like fun new videos to do. I'm also going to do a Arkham retroactive series, so doing videos kind of similar to what Jay does, like top 5 boss fights,
Yeah,
top 5 worst boss fights, that type of shit. So I'm going to do those videos, start scripting some of those out, working on the Batman trivia series. There's nothing to talk about with Gotham Knights at this point, really. So kind of running into the same situation that I was before Gotham Knights was announced.
I might
Um,
start speculating, but I don't know. I used to speculate during like Arkham Knight, like like if what character would be in the game or whatever. But I don't know if I'll do that again.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I know you and Dustin don't like speculation, but like I don't know. For me, it's still kind of like it's still kind of fun. Just
See, I don't know that I don't like it. I'm not sure
yeah.
because I see some people that overdo it with the
Well,
speculation videos.
yeah, that's what I did. I overdid it when I was like a smaller YouTube channel, like when I could get away with it without people like really getting like upset.
Yeah,
I had like what, like maybe like fucking 200 subscribers, 300. So they're just all
right.
just clicking for me like every day, posting like 5 videos a day.
Yeah,
But yeah,
dude, that's the
videos every
way.
yeah, it was the way. It was the
See,
way.
I know that my channel can like blow up for
Well, it
sure.
did in it like 2 months ago, like 3 months ago. It was doing very well.
I know, but it just like it's so inconsistent for me. It like
Mhm.
blows up and then like it's like I have to be fucking pumping in new videos every goddamn day to stay in the algorithm.
I get you.
It's like this is not, but it's not my main job. Like it's so much fucking work.
I think I could achieve that with like my new schedule, not working at night. Like I could like pump out a video like every 2 hours, right? Like get
You think?
home, record it. Like maybe if I like plan it out, like each night I have like I write a script for a video and then like I record it the next night after work. I think I could like do a video every day, but it would take a lot of planning, and I would have to figure out what I really want to talk about and what I want to do. Like I don't, I think I want to talk about more video games, but I just don't know. Like it's hard. Like YouTubing's really like I remember you guys saying it's like really easy, but like it was really easy like 3 years ago, like back in 2016, 2017,
YouTube?
18. Yeah, I think it was easier back then than it is now to get into. Because getting into it now, you really have to fucking try. You have to be like the best version you could be. But like back then, you really didn't have to be the best version. You could just kind of just pump out a decent video, and it would go like semi-viral, and then you would get a bunch of people that would watch the next topic about that same topic, or
Well,
even watch
you
other
want to know
topics.
why that's the case. The reason why is because they're now catering the YouTube and the YouTube algorithm is catering more towards the professional creators like Saturday Night Live and like the late night hosts. So they want to have more official content. That's why you see the video essays blowing up because the algorithm's all about like the watch time and it's all about the click through rate and that type of shit. It's much more algorithmic and focused on how long are people watching. That's why like it's better to do if you're going to be a YouTuber, I would probably do mini docs and I would do long form video essays which are highly produced. So like they're catering more towards highly produced content.
I got you. So like, if somebody's like making gaming videos about like God of War, they're gonna make like an essay video about fucking God of War, like Kratos' fucking journey to fatherhood or some bullshit like that, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like they make it 40 minutes long. Like I realize that your longer videos do well too, like overall, like both not only for like views, like in views it doesn't really matter, but like in monetization it's pretty good too.
Well, yeah,
So
you
like
get more money per view if the video is longer.
yeah, and people are spamming like 2-hour videos about fucking Star Wars. So
I
I
know.
mean, they're probably making thousands of dollars, and that's like going like
That's
super
why they're
viral.
doing it. Dude, that's the new 10-minute video, cuz you know how back in the day people would make videos like 10 minutes and 3 seconds, 10 minutes and 2 seconds to
Yeah,
get ads.
everybody.
That new phenomena is making like 2 hours. Like 2
Yeah,
hour, like
kind
super
of.
long podcasts. That's the same equivalence of that. Of
But
like
then
I'm
they
doing this to maximize monetization. What?
didn't they shorten the time though from 10 minutes to like 8 minutes where
Yeah,
you
now it's
actually
8.
yeah, it's 8 minutes now. It's so fucking weird. Why they do that? Do you know? Or like
So that creators get more money to make it a viable career.
I
They're
guess so,
still
yeah.
trying to
That would make
rebound after the apocalypse.
yeah, they really are trying to rebound after that. God damn
And
fuck.
they're showing the double ads. If you look at your analytics and into the CPMs, you'll see that your CPMs are probably the highest they've been in years. So now is the best time to be doing YouTube because the
Yeah.
amount that you get per 1,000 views is as high as it's ever been because they're doing double ads like crazy. They're showing double ads on like every video now. I don't know
Mhm.
if you've noticed that. And then they also are just, making better ad deals.
Right. I get you. Damn, that's crazy. I mean, I haven't uploaded at all for like the last 10 days, but still pretty good ad revenue.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's all about looking at the CPMs and like how much you get per 1,000 views.
Hmm.
And right now it's pretty high.
Yeah, especially with the holiday season coming around.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's going to be, yeah. And especially like you said, with the holiday season coming up, the CPMs are going to be even higher.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm trying to stay optimistic and work on it more. So I'm excited about it. Like this new trivia series, I'm really excited about it, and I really hope it does well. And then I'm also excited to do the old Arkham videos, and that'll be fun too.
Yeah, I still have to do my Road to Gotham Knights thing, and then I still have to talk about Spider-Man Miles Morales. So I mean, I still have content. I could talk about Miles Morales for the next like a month and a half, and then boom, the game comes out next 30 days. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a good one for me.
Yeah. See, I thought I was gonna be.
Spider-Man PS4, like
Mhm.
when Spider-Man PS4 came out, I like I made videos with Evan, and of course Evan gave me shout outs and whatnot, and that boosted my views for Spider-Man, that entire community. So yeah, I'll probably just do that again.
Just get a shout out from Evan.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to do videos on topics that you get shout outs in because I mean, like realistically, without like a boosted shout out, I wouldn't have had as many subscribers then as I did now. You know what I mean? Like I had like 1,500 subscribers when Caboose gave me that shout out, or like before he did, I had like 500, and then it like boosted me 1,000. So,
Yeah.
do you remember that Flash video? It was like a minute long. And that's why I got so many.
Um. Yes, I do remember that.
It's like his fourth fucking most viewed video.
Yeah.
It's funny. But yeah, Evan gave me a shout out too during Spider Man. I was like a part of the Spider Squad kind of, but I don't know. After that whole thing with I don't know, there was like that one pedo guy in there.
Wait, who is that?
I don't know, it's Spider Sense You. That's who the fuck it was. So you remember that guy? I don't know
Oh,
if you
you.
remember that guy.
Oh.
He was like yeah. There's a lot of fucking weirdos on Twitter.
Oh,
That like
dude, a lot of weirdos. And the other problem is, um, I don't know. I honestly get parents not wanting their kids to interact with YouTubers because a
oh
lot of
yeah.
these YouTubers are fucking weirdos. Like they're all socially inept and they're just fucking losers. And then it's a very dangerous situation where, as a YouTuber, so many young kids look up to you. It's very easy for somebody who, let's say, is a pedo or just is a fucking weirdo to take advantage of kids because you have so many of those kids look up to that person as an idol, and they would do whatever you say because they just want to please their hero, their YouTube hero or whatever. And that's why a lot of the Minecraft YouTubers have turned out to be. And of course, if you're a fucking adult playing Minecraft, like, hello, red flag.
Flag immediately, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a generalization, but like
Yeah,
anytime you see an adult that's really into shit for kids, it's kind of concerning, like Minecraft or even Fortnite, honestly. It's like,
Super Smash Brother reveal for Steve from Minecraft to be in Super Smash Brother, like the fucking character that you play as at first in Minecraft. I don't know. I was young when Minecraft came out, so I was able to play it like 10 years ago, but like without being judged, you know what I mean? But like it was just weird. It's really
Yeah.
weird. I don't know why people would ever play Minecraft now. I thought it was a dead game, but I could see kids still kind of playing it. It's like kind of like the Legos of video games.
Yep. Exactly.
We got
Yeah.
some.
Yeah. So, and then in terms of your YouTube channel, what type of, you said you want to do more Spider-Man Miles Morales videos coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I want to. I don't know. It's really hard to do those types of videos because there's really like not a lot of info on it. But I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
it can make like when Spider-Man PS4 came out, I was like, oh, this could like change superhero video games or whatever. And I don't
Yeah.
know. I was doing stupid little shit like that. Maybe I'll just do that again. Like really, sometimes you just have to wing it with videos and just like come out with the first idea and go with that idea, and usually it works out. But if my videos aren't getting views, then I'll rethink it. But for the next month, I'm probably gonna do Spider-Man and Gotham Knights, and then just do Spider-Man Miles Morales all through November, just because that game's coming out, too popular.
Nice.
So hang on, is that an ice cream machine or
I
ice
think
cream?
it is. For all the kids that were screaming earlier.
There's a bunch of fucking schools here, so
Oh, there you have it.
yeah, all kindergartens.
It's Sunday though.
Yeah, there's still kids
Destroyed.
around. Yeah, well, yeah, you got just fucking blew my brain there. Jesus. Right. When I went back, I had a few drinks.
Oh, there you go. That's good.
I stayed there till like 1 though, watching stupid games.
At work?
Yeah, at work. Yeah, when I went to go get my car. So
Are you into sports at all?
yeah, I mean, I like football and UFC and whatnot, and boxing. And then, I want to get into golf, but I don't really care about any of the players in golf.
Dude, golf is fun. I recommend it.
Yeah, I want to get into like all sports, honestly. Like, I want to just like do like one sport a week and kind of just alternate between it. Like, I've been thinking about this for weeks, where it's just like I just like perfect one sport like over
Yeah.
the course of a few months or like a few weeks and see what happens.
Yeah, I got into basketball for a bit. Like right as COVID hit, I was getting really into basketball. I was playing regularly. I was practicing. I had a pretty good shot. Pretty good as far as a 5'9" white kid is concerned, but it was like decent.
At my apartment, I had a basketball court, and I was gonna start playing basketball. Like I have like a Boston basketball here somewhere, but like I wanted to start playing basketball and start getting better at it because I don't know. I just felt like I had that urge.
Dude, basketball is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball is a really fun sport. Golf is fun.
I like
football. I love watching football.
I love playing football more than watching it. I feel more comfortable playing it because when I was like younger, I used to play tackle without pads with like friends that I knew in elementary and like their brothers and whatnot, and their older brothers who go fucking hard on like just grass and shit. So yeah, I like football. I like playing football more than watching it.
Yeah.
I
No,
think it's
that's
intense.
the.
I was watching games today. There was a Cardinals and Jets game, and then the Ravens versus the fucking Bengals.
Vegas Raiders, right?
Vegas Raiders? Did you just say the Vegas Raiders?
Isn't it the Las Vegas Raiders?
The Ravens, my bad. Ravens.
Yeah, the Raiders. They used to be the Oakland Raiders, but now they're in Vegas. I'm pretty sure.
I'm saying Ravens.
Oh, you're saying Baltimore Ravens. Okay.
Baltimore, yeah.
I'm really into college football. Also, my alma mater, the University of North Carolina, is ranked number 5.
Nice.
Which is fucking crazy because we've always been shit at football. So the 2 years that I went there, the first year we won 3 games, and the second year we won 2.
Dang.
So we were like 2-9 or 2-10 or some bullshit like that. And then we fired our head coach. We hired the main coach from the University of Texas. His name is Mac Brown. He used to coach at UNC long before at Texas. He won a national championship at Texas in 2005 with Vince Young, who went on to have a really successful career in the NFL. And now he's our coach, and we lost to Clemson by 1 point last year. We lost 21-20. We went for 2. So basically, we were down 21-14 with about a minute left to go in the fourth quarter, right? Yeah. We scored a touchdown, so it's 21-20. And then the question is, do we get a an extra point, tie it going to overtime,
Yeah.
or do we go for two and then end the game? If you go for two, then it comes down to that one play. So they went for two and lost. But Mac Brown afterwards defended the decision, and he was like, "Well, the thing is that we had a lot of people that were injured, and Clemson has 3 layers of depth that are better than like our top layer. So basically, even though we were playing well that day, it was like if the game were to continue going on into overtime, their depth would beat our depth type of thing. Because at that point, so I genuinely trust his judgment on that. I think it probably was a good decision. Because it's easy to say, oh, the 2 point conversion didn't work, shitty call by the coach. But also, if the 2 point conversion works and we beat number one Clemson as University of North Carolina, they just had a 2-game win the season before, then it's like Mac Brown's a fucking genius.
Right.
So it's like it's easy to say, oh, it didn't work, that wasn't a dumb play. Whereas those are the type of plays that you watch on YouTube highlights like 10 years after they happen because you're like, that was fucking genius. Like what an amazing call to call that 2 point play, Yeah. So hindsight's 2020, really.
I get you. Yeah, now thinking about it, that probably would have been a really good play if they got it. But
yeah, you get it. If you get it, then you're up 22-21, and they have like 40 seconds to score, which is pretty much impossible.
You can't do that shit unless you.
Whereas in this case, if you get the extra point, okay, the game's tied. You go into overtime, and the team that is ranked number one in the country is more likely to win in overtime versus you. Like the longer the game goes on, the better team is more likely to win. And in that case, Clemson is the better team. So you're trying to basically end the game as quickly as possible. So that's the idea behind it. I think it makes a lot of sense. I probably would have called the same shit. Right. I've always thought, I think it'd be a lot of fun to be a coach, like a basketball coach.
I was a female football coach for flag football 1 year in junior high school.
Were you really?
We won. Me and my friend Lucas. We were like signing up for it. Like we were supposed to have like another guy named Zach, but it was just me, Lucas, and the fucking social studies teacher. I forgot what his name was. Something. I don't know what the fuck his name is. But yeah, we won. It was like there was this really big girl. She's actually trans now, so technically it's man. But like she fucking ran through women, bro. It was fucking hilarious with like the flag football and whatever.
In flag football?
Oh my god! Like she would like fucking stiff arm them, and we're just like, "Fuck yeah, go!" Damn, we're just screaming on the sideline and shit. It was amazing.
She just bodies a 7-year-old fucking
not a 7-year-old, like literally just like a blonde fucking cheerleader or whatever, because that's who was playing. Like all of the girls from our classes and whatnot, they would play, and they're just fucking bodying through. This is like literally like junior high school girls versus like senior girls. So that's what it was. That's the type of level that we're dealing with, and it was so fucking fun. But yeah, coaching is fun when that's women. I don't know how about coaching.
No. I get that. I think it would be a lot. I would like to be a coach. I think I might do it for fun, maybe one day. I've been so busy with work and YouTube and shit, but one day I'd love to do it. Also, my dad, who I said is a gymnastics coach, so he's a really good coach. Like he's just good at coaching people. Yeah. But he would be a really good basketball coach too, because he was a good basketball player in high school. And sometimes I wonder, what if he like coached once, he would really enjoy that. But his work schedule doesn't really permit it at this point. But that might be something he does in the long run. But I think it'd be a lot of fun. The thing is, I don't know enough about basketball to be a coach. I think you've got to really be like an expert in the game, to do that. But I will say, coaching kids, like it's totally different if you're, let's say, the coach of the Duke basketball team or the UNC basketball team. Like it's much more strategic and making sure that you understand the fundamentals of the game and like having a high-minded strategy, like drawing up plays and shit like that. Whereas if you're coaching 12-year-olds, you're not really drawing up plays. You're more coaching the players to be the best player they can be, and then you just I mean, there's some plays, don't get me wrong, but like fucking 12-year-olds are not gonna like master zone defense. It's just not going to happen. So it's more about developing interpersonal skills with kids and relating to them and helping them be the best they can be, which is a totally different proposition than like, oh, I'm a master of basketball and I understand it perfectly. Like maybe I don't need to be that to be a good, like fucking little league coach,
Yeah. I think I could be a good Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach for really any age or anybody. Like I just know the fundamentals of it and like how to really like work your body into conditioning yourself into going into fights like that. Because I've fought like maybe over 160 fights in like tournaments. So I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like I have that experience where I'm just like, if I wanted to, I could like apply right now for like a jujitsu. I mean, maybe not. I would probably have to like be like a fucking black belt or some shit. But I'm sure I could get my black belt pretty like really fast if I really tried. Like my coach would probably do it for me in like 4 years. But like, yeah, I mean, I could be a coach. I know that I can be a coach. I just have that like mentality, especially with fighting. It's like super. It's methodical. You have to like really be tactical when you're fighting and like be calm and like know how to really control your body when you're fighting somebody else that is also, the same skill set.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about
Yeah.
basketball though. I don't know much about basketball. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. I would say I don't really know my level of knowledge. I would say football. Football is so interesting to me because it's so incredibly strategic. Like, one thing that Colin Cowherd, he actually got canceled for saying this. Like, he got in a lot of trouble
Yeah.
because he was like, he said, in baseball, a lot of the players, they don't even speak the same language and they can still
Oh.
communicate. That shows you that baseball is, like a sport for idiots. And he was like, well, football, you have to be able to speak the same language to be able to play together on the same team. But the reality of it is, he kind of has a point. Like, football is so incredibly complex in terms of the plays that you call, what each player does, and the strategy. And like, okay, do I want 5 people on my O line or do I want fewer, which creates risk of getting sacked? And like, also, there are different types of offenses, there are different type of scheme. You can play football in totally unique ways as well. Like, Georgia Tech, they had a really interesting time. They were actually not very good, but they never threw the ball as a quarterback because what they would do is they would run it every time and they would do lateral passes. So they
Okay.
would have like four running backs. They would have like four running backs and they would like run and do like trick plays and flip it back to each other and like cut this way, cut that way, and like do crazy shit.
That's goofy, bro. What the fuck?
I know, but it's like there's so many different ways to play the game. And
Mm-hmm.
then there are different types of offenses. There are like air raid offenses, which are going to target, basically using all aspects of the field, wide and far, including long balls and deep balls. There are other offenses that just want to target like slant routes and getting like 10, 15-yard conversions. Again, some are more running back oriented, some are more throwing oriented. And then on defense and special teams, it's like onside kicks and shit. Like, there's so many interesting things in football. It's such a complex sport, which I think makes it fun.
Yeah.
And there's so much strategy that goes into it. Like you don't just have a coach. In basketball, you have a head coach, and you have assistants and shit. In football, you have a head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams specialist. You have quarterbacks coach. You have coaches for each position. It's crazy.
I did play 1 year of high school football, or like not even like it was like a half a year. I was a safety, and like I really did. I hated how like complex it was. Honestly, I was just like, oh fuck, I have to do this, and I have to wait for them. I don't like team sports. Honestly, like playing team sports,
Really?
unless unless it's like amateur style. But like doing like high school football or college football or even like any of that shit. I just want to be able to. I just don't. I want to be able to like coordinate with like a team. Unless it's like freelancing, everybody can do like their own shit. Like that's why like playing against friends and whatnot, or playing with like your friends' brothers and whatnot. That's fun because we're all just doing our own shit. We're not really doing playbooks. We're just spontaneously running out and trying to juke the other guy, trying to catch the ball.
Yeah, and I would say that video games are a lot of fun. They're an avenue to be competitive. They're equally complex. Like, I
Yeah,
look at a game like Rainbow Six Siege. I don't think that it's really all that much different than any active sport. The only different in terms of competitiveness, the only difference is the athleticism aspect of it. That for video games, there is some nominal level of athleticism, which is basically your reaction time and
yeah,
your hand-eye coordination. Like, there is a certain level of training and fine-tuning to that skill that you can develop. But it is true that like you don't need to be very athletic to
no,
be good at the game. Whereas with football or basketball, you need to have a high level of athleticism. But that kind of is what makes video games so interesting, is that it very much so is like if you work really hard at becoming good at that game, you can be good at it. It doesn't matter how hard I work at basketball, I'm still not going to be that good because
yeah,
I'm 5'9". I don't. I'm just not built for it. Whatever.
But you could pick up
Whereas
a controller and just go for it.
for sure, like I know for a matter of fact, I could become really good at Injustice.
Yeah.
I'm not, but I could be if I tried. There's nothing holding me back from doing that.
How about
Whereas,
Rocket
and same thing there. Yeah, if I
League?
played consistently,
For sure.
yeah. I mean, I'm bad now, but I could be good.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I was terrible when I was in. I mean, if you compare the gameplay that we had in 2016, like when me and you were playing together on our second channel, the fucking Slick Mob Salvage channel or whatever,
Yeah.
uh, and like you compare it to how we play now, you're kind of similar. But the only reason to why you're similar to back then is because you just haven't really been playing that much. I've been playing throughout like the last 4 years, on and
Yeah,
off.
you're really good. The main skill that you have that I don't is being able to
Fly.
aerial hit. Yeah,
Yeah,
aerial hit and get like consistent contact with the ball.
yeah, and control it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and dribbling it and whatnot. And
Yeah.
that all like, that's also from like watching pros too, because I would watch like Squishy and fucking what's his name, Rizzo, and all those other guys that would play Rocket League consistently, and they would have their controllers on the bottom right of their screen, so you would be able to see what they're doing. So it's easy to kind of like change your your button layout, and of course try to mimic what they're doing, and then of course you're playing just like a pro. You usually get that benefit of having other people train you throughout
Yeah.
tutorials on YouTube. Yeah. So it's kind of like coaching in many ways, but in its
And
own
see,
way.
Rocket League, I mean, Rocket League is basically soccer
Yeah.
transported into a video game. And when you think about it in those terms, what are the main statistics and data points that you think about in soccer? One is possession time. Like, how long does your team have the ball? How many shots do you have on goal? If
Yeah.
you control the possession, if you control the ball and where the ball is, if that's on your terms more than the opponent, you're very likely to win. If you
Mhm.
get more shots on goal, you have more attempts to score the ball, you're more likely to win. It's the same thing. It's like the same way an analyst would analyze a game of soccer. You could do the exact same thing in Rocket League because strategy is involved in both games. The only difference is that instead of controlling a ball, I have my athleticism of like I have to fine tune my human body to be good at soccer. Whereas
Mhm.
Rocket League, I just need to practice.
Yeah, exactly. You just need to move your fucking fingers on the controller and just like, slowly and surely get better. But like with soccer, you really do have to like improve your entire body. Like you have to really be athletic and become athletic to really play soccer. With somebody like somebody playing Rocket League, they could be like 500 pounds. They don't give a fuck. They'll just fucking play a game.
So this is the real question: are esports sports?
Yes.
You think
If
so?
poker is a sport, fucking video games are a sport.
Oh, there's no question that video games are more of a sport than poker and other games. To
Uh,
me, there's no question.
mhm. Yeah.
Because of exactly what I mentioned of like people legitimately practice video games. If you're on a professional game team, you go to practice from 4 to 8, which means you're going to be scrimmishing. You're going to be skirmishing, however you say it. I don't give a shit. You're going to be, whatever, like in a private match,
With all
fighting
your
bots, like getting your aim perfect, that type of shit.
there is like a free room that you could just like control the ball the entire time in Rocket League, just like a solo map, and you
Yeah,
just go. You could literally just practice your aerials, jump up and down, hit the
yeah,
ball as hard as possible, and go for certain angles with like the goal that you usually hit in a game. So
yeah.
like when you're doing it with other people, it does condition you. So yeah, you can practice and become better at video games and whatnot. And I think that they should be considered sports and whatnot. It would be funny to see like an Olympic sports fucking event.
Well, they're starting to put esports in college. Dude, I would love fucking
Colleges.
college esports. Dude, that would be so fun.
That'd be hilarious.
Dude, it would be so cool. Like if UNC had an Overwatch team, I would watch that shit. I'd be like, fuck yeah, we're gonna beat Duke. But that would be a lot of fun. I would really, really love that.
Isn't the Black Ops Vietnam trailer coming out or beta coming out? The
Yeah,
beta
at some point. I don't know when though.
is it this weekend? I know it's free. I'll play it with you.
Oh, it's this weekend?
Maybe. I got like
Oh shit.
I got an email from Call of Duty, which is really funny.
With your beta code?
Today, free beta. Yeah, download. I guess I could download it now. Live now on PlayStation 4 is the open beta.
I thought you had to have a code. Do you not?
It doesn't. I think it's just it says open beta.
Oh, all right, guys. Well, Marcel and I are probably going to play Call of Duty, so we're going to sign off. Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Anonymous Throwdown Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, comment with your thoughts on the episode in the comment section below. We'll see you guys back here next week. I think Dustin will also be out next week, but we'll get Jake back and have a good old time. So see you guys next Sunday. Peace out.
Yeah, see you guys later.